Welcome back to this special edition of Cattlemen to Cattlemen, coming to you from our nation's capital. Every day, the NCBA staff in Washington works on the issues that matter to cattle-producing families. Joining us now with more is Colin Woodall, NCBA's Vice President of Government Affairs. Colin, tell our viewers to begin with just some of the things you and your staff do on a daily basis.
Well, we have a team of lobbyists, attorneys, and veterinarians here on staff in Washington, D.C. that spend each and every day walking the halls of Congress up the street here and also working all the federal agencies to make sure that the voice of our producers is being heard. It truly is a full-time job because Congress is working every day on new legislation, and these agencies are working every day on new rules and regulations that have an impact on us. And if we're not there talking to them, then they're going to be talking to other people. More likely, those other people aren't going to have our best interests at heart.
And I want you to expound on that a little bit. Why is it so important that we have a physical presence right here in Washington, D.C. 12 months out of the year?
Very few of these regulators, very few of these legislatures have a true background in agriculture. And they don't know really where their food comes from, but they're making laws, they're making rules and regulations that have an impact on our ability to put that steak on the table. So we spend most of our time in an educational mode, making sure that they understand just the basics of our industry, what we do, and then to take it one step forward and show them how their actions are going to have an impact on whether or not they can get their hands on that steak. So that's why it's important we're here every single day doing that education, so that way when it comes time for the votes on Capitol Hill, they're going to vote our way.
You know, we talk a lot about membership on this show, and one thing that I think viewers might ask is, well, as long as there's an NCBA organization, why does it matter if I'm not a member? Why do membership numbers really matter to folks like you and the folks on Capitol Hill?
It matters to us and also on Capitol Hill because when you go up and you talk to a member of Congress about the issues at hand, yes, they may like our industry, they may like NCBA, but they really like knowing how many people are going to actually show up and vote for them when it comes election time. So if we go in and say, well, we only represent a handful of people in your district, they're probably not as likely to vote for us as if we can go in and say we represent tens of thousands of members in your district. So that's why having good, strong numbers and members of NCBA is so important to our overall success.
You also work very closely with state cattlemen's organizations. Tell us why that partnership is so critical to you.
Well, our success really is about a strong state and national partnership. So we can do a lot here in Washington, D.C., but if we don't have the support of our state cattlemen's affiliates, then we are not as effective as we could be. When you go up and talk on Capitol Hill, yes, they want to know the national issues, but they always want to know what is going to be the direct impact on their producers back home. So being able to bring in the voice of our state affiliates is strong to show that we are working together for the betterment of the entire industry.
And let's talk a little bit about the Political Action Committee you all have and why it's so important for individual cattlemen and women to support the PAC.
The Political Action Committee, or the PAC, is one of the best tools that we have to raise funds to help get new members of Congress elected that understand our issues, or to try to get our friends here in Washington, D.C. re-elected. It takes a lot of money to run an election campaign, and they have to go out and raise that money. If we can help them raise that money, then that goes a long way in making sure that they understand that we're their friend, and that ultimately we're also working very hard to keep our friends here in Washington. So that way, again, when it comes time to address our issues, we have people that truly understand the consequences on the U.S. beef industry.
Fantastic. Well, your hard work is recognized by a lot of us out in the country. Thanks for all you do.
Hey, thank you, Kevin.
Now, if you'd like to stay up to date on key issues and events from D.C., one way is by becoming a member of NCBA. Members receive the Beltway Beef Newsletter, a weekly report straight from Washington that gives an up-to-date summary of top policy initiatives that'll impact your business. Joining is easy. Just call 1-866-233-3872, or you can visit the website ncba.org.